8 a.m. this Saturday morning, and I am getting ready to slam down my rocket fuel drink of the day. And which, of course, if you follow along with my channel, you might be well acquainted with me bringing this remedy drink or holistic drink up multiple times throughout my time on this platform and the content that I have shared. And one of the main ingredients that I use is raw organic honey. Why am I bringing this up? Well, where do we get honey from? Bees. I have brought to the table quite a few recordings of my interactions with bees. It's a very important topic. We'll continue on in just a moment because I don't want this to cool off. Yeah, good stuff. Real good stuff. Bees. This is interesting. I'm going to direct you to another video from another channel through the link down in the description in regards to bees. But hang tight. I want to continue on. Alright, continuing on. As you can see, the boards to the flooring of my balcony is wet. Yes, we have had more of that precipitation, if you will, overnight. We are still having some drippage coming off of the overhang here from the eave. So I brought up the factor of bees quite often. Once again, you see my interactions with the bees. When you're one with nature, I just recently uttered that statement to a bee video of, well, just within the last couple of weeks, whenever it was, to where I released a bee back out here and into this plant pot. I talk about technology. I speak of the chemtrailing. I talk about the sun. And I speak on nature. Well, basically, you're going to hear a lot of the same narratives through this other video. Concerning concerning bees in general, but this guy is more concerned with the aspects of honeybees. And the question is, what has been killing the bees? And he goes back to where there were polling being done over bee populations, the surveys, or whatever you want to consider it. And this began back in the 1990s. Okay, now this guy in this video, I mean, I do appreciate this video because once again, he's bringing up everything that I talk about on my channel. And unfortunately, towards the end of his video, he starts going off into the science realm of things. And starts in talking about the shifting of the poles and you know, this, that, and the other thing. And I appreciate people that, you know, get out there and do their little research. But once again, I'm not one that I really have to go delving into this, that, and the other thing to find answers, because the answers come to me. And I've proven this time and time again. Once again, going back to the bees and the situations, we were told We have been told for many, many years about the issues of bees through predictive programming through television shows and movies. Believe it or not. Back in the 1990s, there were two shows that I still talk about today as far as their predictive programming aspects of future events. Things that they brought to the table back in the 1990s that are very relevant today. And those two shows, those two television series, The X-Files and Stargate SG-1. And in the 90s, both of those shows came out. X-Files dedicated a couple of episodes to that of the bee, explaining a few things. Yeah, my TV watching in the past has really explained a lot of things to me, because you have to remember about the powers of control to this global situation. Who controls what? And it's through this battle that has been going on for a very, very long time to where this information leaks out, but it's done so subliminally. Okay? And I brought this to the table too. Subliminal suggestions. Well, that morphed into MK Ultra, and I won't even get into all of that. But once again, I will not go into what this guy ends up going into. Why? Because I can't go there. He brings up the factor of chemtrails and the aluminum and all that. But yet he goes back to these scientific polls over the movement of the poles. And we can't see this. What can we see? Everything that's transpiring up here. Okay, so he was correct on that. I can't see nothing as far as the movement of the poles, the gravitational field, or anything like that. I have to base my explanations on my observations, my experiences, my encounters, so on and so forth. And once again, we have been told. Now, this guy also brings up quite a few other things, but something else that he brings up is the year 2039. And here, I have just recently shown this pareidolia date found somewhere back in here of 2037. So, yeah, this is a long video, and I did not plan on it to be long, but it's early morning. I had a rough night. I've been up for many hours with little sleep, and I'm a little bit on the rough edge. And thing is with, knowing that they have gone to great lengths to block out the sky through their spraying, and that we are to be under conditions like this all day long. And then what they're forecasting this week to be, it's coming up next week. Boy, they're really trying to make things seem so normal, weather-wise, if you will. Well, this guy also brings up the factor of the last few years, weather-wise, and the seasonal changes that he has observed, which, once again, parallels my observations here. And I have no idea where this guy's from. Now, I'm not dogging on this guy whatsoever. I appreciate his content. But, when you're trying to base reality on what scientific agencies come out with over matters of things that we cannot visually see. No, I cannot go there. Sorry. Everything is tied together, everything is connected, and apparently that's something this guy still does not realize or understand. And once again, back in the 1990s, he brings this up, you know, well, right away, my mind goes right to that predictive programming that I've been exposed to, that's prepared me and has led me into talking about bees and honey and, like I said, the X-Files. At least 2 episodes. And if it was important enough to be included into the X-Files, which began as based on real events, which some people, many people, still forget. And when you have Stargate SG-1 to where every episode has acknowledgments to certain departments, offices, and so on and so forth, and the ending credits, every episode acknowledging the Air Force, acknowledging, other entities out there. There's a reason why I was exposed to watching those shows every episode and over and over. They tell us the future, or at least lead in with hints. Gee, just like Obama did with the pandemic, right? Hint, hint. Alright, so anyway, go ahead, click on that link. It is a pleasant enough video to watch. I mean, this guy's just sitting out. I mean, he's a homesteader, just sitting out here in the woods, talking about things that he wants to share and has been sharing, and once again, it parallels a lot with my content. So click on it and enjoy. I guess I'm getting ready to go out and tend to the wild, well, so-called wild ones out here. And then I've got other things on my agenda for this day that they should happen to pan out according to the weather. Yeah. Alright, good enough. Click on the link and enjoy. And maybe you'll have something to think about.